The Canadian Card Collector here, and welcome back to day 230 of a daily deck review. And the deck that we're taking a look at today is the Bloc Playing Cards Plush Edition of playing cards from exclusively Art of Play. So, with no further ado, let's take a look and see what we get. Here we have the Bloc Plush playing cards here. And there's no regular tuck box, as you might see. Here on the front, it says Art of Play exclusive, Bloc Playing Cards, Plush Edition 2019, designed in New York, printed by the United States Playing Card Company, made in the USA. And here on the front, you got some gold foiling there. And then the rest of the tuck box is not a glossy finish, and it's not a matte finish. It's actually a flocked tuck box. This is the first ever flocked tuck box that I've seen. I don't know if there's any more out there. It could be, but this is the first one I've seen. And if you don't know what flocked is, it's just fuzzy. So it has like some kind of material to it. So it's a little bit, you can kind of see it on camera a little bit, but like it's hard to like see unless you were in person. But it is a little like fuzzy, so it's like material, kind of like the sweater, but like slightly more different, slightly different. So kind of fuzzy. And then you can feel like the texture there between the flocking and then the foiling there because it is like pressed into it. Then on the bottom you got the Art of Play logo and the Bloc logo there in that gold foiling. And then the rest of the tuck box is pretty minimalistic. Nothing else on the tuck box. And then if we take the flap out, the tuck flap, nothing on the tuck flap. On the inner tuck flaps is the more flocking. Take the cards out of the box. And the tuck box is like a light pink. And on the inside of the tuck box, you get like a darker hot pink. So there's nothing too crazy going on, just a slightly different colorway, which is still nice to see. And the tuck box is like extremely thick. Like the edges, like try to like press it open, kind of is like a really thicker tuck box, just because it has like the flocking like fuzzy material all over it. Now that we took a look at the tuck box, time to take a look at the cards. And first we'll start with that back design. Here we have a borderless one-way back design, and it kind of looks like fuzzy, like fur, or some kind of like carpet material. Okay, like fuzzy material, like a plush. There in that kind of pink and white kind of plush design, and it is a one-way back design. So if you flip it over, it's and the design is in a different direction there, and they're not in the same directions if it's flipped over. Because you've got that like big curve kind of like line there, and then it's on the other side. You flip it over. Now for the cards you get with the deck, you get I guess we'll start with the gaff card. You get like a double backer kind of. Uh, yeah, yeah. Okay, yeah. You start with you got like back design on one side, and then you got like a kind of different kind of design on the other. So it's a kind of little gap card there. Got like another slightly kind of material there, and then you get a double backer of the back design. And then for the rest of the cards, and then seeming like there's no custom ace of spades, it's just pretty standard. So the rest of the cards are just standard. You got the standard spades. And then you got the standard court cards for the spades. And then the diamonds. You got the yeah, ace of diamonds, which is slightly custom. It has like the back design kind of design within that diamond. But then the rest of the diamonds are just standard. Pretty much the only custom card so far were the two gaff cards and this ace of diamonds. And then the core cards for the diamonds are just standard. The core cards are just standard, and the rest of the clubs are just standard. And then the hearts, these are just standard hearts. And then for the ace of hearts, it's also another custom one. It has that like the plush back, like the back it has like the back design within the heart, just like the diamond. And then the last two cards, you get a couple more gaff cards. You get an extra one of these double backers with the two different designs on it. And then you got a blank face. So technically there's no jokers in the deck. You just got four gaff cards. which is unique because most decks come with like a gap card, like custom decks come with gap cards, but you usually get some jokers. You never usually see a deck without jokers, which is kind of interesting. But anyways, time for the handling, and first we'll start with the springs. And I gotta say, these have a lot of flex to it. They flex really easy. So they're nice and easy to spring. They feel like a more thinner stock, just because they're like easier to spring. They still got some stiffness to it, where they still like will hold up for a while. But they got enough flex to where it's like super easy to like spring them. And they're nice, pretty nice springs. They got a nice pop to it, like a nice loud clicky noise to it. And they're nice and smooth feeling. Pretty average springs though, pretty nice. And now on to the fans. And it is a one-way back design. If you were to fan it like in different directions, you'd probably get a slightly different design. But I can't really like fan too good in different directions. As you can see, they spread pretty evenly. You can see most of the pips and numbers. There's no stickiness or clumpiness to the cards. And now on to the Pharaoh. But decently smooth hair there. They did kind of like slightly stick and had to be slightly pushed together, but they interlocked and weaved flawlessly. Now for that giant fan of the back design. Now for that reverse Pharaoh. And they interlocked and weaved pretty nicely there, pretty flawlessly. And they were pretty smooth. Now for that giant fan of the faces. Now for the riffle shuffle or bridge shuffle. The first couple of riffles felt a little choppy, like they weren't like clumpy or anything. It's just the cards like packeted kind of a little clumpy. But that was just the first couple. These last couple. Okay, back to it. Yeah, the riffles like are starting to feel more smoothly the more you do. So it was just the first couple that felt a little bit clumpy. Now we'll move on to the packet cuts. That's if I stop dropping a few cards. Wait, yeah, packet cuts. Now for the one-handed cut or surely cut. But the packet cuts felt pretty average, like pretty normal compared to most other decks. And now time for the dribble. Well, the dribbles feel pretty nice there. Pretty nice and smooth, pretty much. Pretty average. Not much to say about the dribbles, but they're nice and smooth. And now time for that spread fan. And lastly, spread the cards on the table. Well, I gotta say, it's definitely a slightly interesting deck. And you got that borderless one-way back design, which is okay of a back design. It's nothing crazy. It's definitely not one of my favorite decks ever, just because of that design. It doesn't appeal to me that much. But then the faces of the cards are all standard, so it's a deck anyone could use. And then there's definitely no jokers in the deck, as you saw. He's got 4 gap cards, and 2 of these double backers with like 2 different designs on them. Then you got 1 double backer with the same design on both sides, and then you got a blank face. There's nothing really to talk about the design. It's just a pretty okay design. But the best part of it is the tuck box here, where it is flocked. So if you ever get a chance to see these in person, you should check them out. The tuck box is pretty interesting. And then you saw the handling. It was pretty like average handling. So there's not much to say about the handling, because it was pretty average and pretty smooth there. And nothing really crazy about it, because it is United States Playing Company quality. So with that being said, I hope you enjoyed, and this has been day 230 of a daily deck review. This has been the Bloc Plush playing cards exclusively from Art of Play, and I'm the Canadian Card Collector signing out. That's the video. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.